The one thing that got my attention is that somebody on his Facebook page posted something about their spouse, and the spouse had an autoimmune disorder that attacked the central nervous system. You may know what chronic issue I'm talking about there. That got my attention because my baby sister Jennifer in Cary, North Carolina, has the same issue, and she's been struggling with it for 30 years. I called Carl and I said, "You've got my attention. Tell me more about this technology." He did. I quickly invested as a gold partner. Excuse me. And then I also quickly upgraded to diamond a few weeks later. My sister, fast forward, pardon me, uh, 3 months into it, she was on X39. I sent her an Aeon patch because she said, "Joe, I'm having a little bit of irritation in my lower back." I sent her an Aeon patch. That afternoon, I get a video from her husband. I'll never forget this. My wife and I are in Destin, Florida. I get a video on my phone. It's my sister getting up from the living room sofa, walking into the kitchen unassisted. Now, that's a big deal because she walks with a walker and or a rollator. And I was praising the Lord. That's exactly what we were praying for. My sister has been on the patch for 6 months. She is feeling fabulous. Her skin is smooth as a baby's bottom. Her hair is growing in fuller, darker, and she just loves the way she feels. For me, I played college football, major college football at Notre Dame. My body's been in a lot of collisions over the years. I would have to see a chiropractor no less than every 6 weeks before I met Carl. By the time I started wearing the X39 patch, 10 days into it, 10 days into it, my back irritation went away. My plantar fasciitis irritation went away. I thought I was going to have to need a hip replacement because it runs in my family, and a lot of former athletes have that irritation. I have no irritation in my hips whatsoever. I had a swollen Achilles. I seriously thought it was going to burst. But wearing these patches consistently, month after month after month, there's no swelling and no irritation in my Achilles tendon. My wife was super, super skeptical. She's like, "No, I'm not doing that." And she said, "You go ahead and do it." Well, she finally gave in and she started wearing the patch. Her testimonials are even more impactful than mine. Her hair stopped falling out. Now, she's got thyroid issues and a bunch of other autoimmune things going on. Her hair stopped falling out. For ladies, as they approach maturity, that's a big, big deal when their hair stops falling out. The other thing is that she has a gluten intolerance, and she's had that particular chronic issue for 18 years. So we've learned to live with and eating a gluten-free diet. Well, last September, she would have been on the patch for about 3 months. We went on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship to the Greek Isles. And if you've been on a cruise ship, you know that they kind of tease you and tempt you with all the pastries and the donuts and the bagels. And she said, "Oh, what the heck? I'm going to cheat." So she eats a pastry. That night, she eats a dinner roll. They brought her the gluten-free bread, but it was not very flavorful. So she's eating wheat and gluten, and she's not getting sick. Folks, let me tell you, that is absolutely extraordinary that she didn't get sick. And a lot of people were saying, "Well, maybe that's the European wheat." Well, we come home, we fly home from Rome, and we're eating wheat from America, and she's still not getting sick. So I'm thinking, okay, God, are you healing her gluten intolerance? So one thing after another is going on in our bodies. We love what it's doing for us. My teeth, I went to the dentist. My gums have closed up around my teeth, so there's no more pockets. The dental hygienist was absolutely floored based on my appointment from a year ago. And then I'm 60 years old, but I feel like I'm 38. My wife said your gray hair is turning back to brown. So I could just go on and on about these stories. My family members are on the patch. And like Carl said, every week, we're getting that call. Are you sitting down? You're not going to believe this. So the cool thing about this being a person-to-person home-based business is we get to experience those miracles. If this was at regular retail or just online, we would not get to experience these miracles. So, Carl, I just appreciate you and Kathy so much. And thank you for having me on. And we are 100% on board with this program, and we absolutely love it.